Bro, right now, as you watch this video, your data is traveling through a glass tube thinner than a garden hose, lying at the bottom of the ocean, thousands of miles long. And 4 companies own most of it. Let that sink in. Everyone thinks the internet lives in the cloud, floating somewhere above us. Wrong. 95% of everything that happens online, every message, every video, every game you play, travels through actual physical cables made of glass fiber, laid on the ocean floor by specialized ships. There are over 550 of these cables right now, crisscrossing the entire planet. Not satellites, not magic, cables, glass tubes carrying light. That's literally how this video is reaching you right now. Now here's where it gets interesting. Who owns these cables? For decades, it was mostly telecom companies and governments, sharing the cost, sharing the cables, sharing the power. That era is over. A 2022 analysis found that Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon now own or lease approximately 70% of undersea bandwidth. Globally, 4 companies, 70% of the literal physical pipes that carry the entire internet. Google alone has ownership stakes in at least 20 cable systems. Their Dunant cable connects the US and France and carries exclusively Google traffic. Not yours, not mine, just Google's. They built their own private highway under the entire Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so if private companies own the pipes, who decides the rules? Who's actually in charge? This is where most people get it completely wrong. There's an organization called ICANN, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. They control something called the Domain Name System, basically the Internet's address book. Without them typing, Google.com wouldn't take you anywhere. But here's the wild part. Some people believe the US government secretly controls ICANN, controls the entire internet through them. ICANN themselves came out and said that's false. They operate on something called a multi-stakeholder model, meaning no single country or company can dominate the decisions, at least officially. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Remember how I said companies are laying their own private cables? Look at where those cables actually land. Singapore, Fortaleza in Brazil, the Strait of Malacca. These aren't random spots. These are the exact same locations European colonial powers used for telegraph cables over 100 years ago. Same ports, same choke points, same routes. The internet is quietly running through the exact same map as the old colonial trade empires. And when a country like the Democratic Republic of Congo or Madagascar desperately needs internet connectivity, they have almost no leverage when negotiating with Google or Meta. The terms? Set entirely by whoever owns the cable, not the country that needs it. So now the big question, why isn't the internet just free? If it's this giant cooperative system, why are you paying for it every single month? Because building this stuff is insanely expensive. Laying one undersea cable costs hundreds of millions of dollars. Repair ships, specialized crews. There are only around 60 cable repair ships in the entire world. Maintaining global internet infrastructure is one of the most expensive things humans have ever built. So when you pay your ISP every month, you're not just paying for Wi-Fi. You're paying your tiny share of an infrastructure web that spans every ocean on planet Earth. That's why it's not free. It's genuinely one of the most expensive machines humanity has ever built, and you're renting a piece of it. So let's answer the real question. Who controls the internet? Not one government, not one company. It's messier than any conspiracy theory could invent. A handful of governments control what happens inside their own borders. A handful of mega corporations control the physical pipes. A nonprofit organization controls the address book. And the whole thing runs on cooperation, money, and genuinely duct tape and handshakes. No single villain, no single hero, just 4 tech giants owning most of the pipes, a handful of governments guarding their borders, and the rest of us paying monthly to rent a tiny piece of the most powerful infrastructure ever built by human hands. So next time your Wi-Fi buffers for 2 seconds, remember, your data just traveled through a glass tube at the bottom of an ocean, owned by a corporation, following a map drawn by empires, regulated by a nonprofit, and somehow, it still works. This is Loaded World. where games, movies, and the real world collide. Subscribe, turn on notifications, stay tuned, stay loaded.